I want to talk to you guys about the latest models that have dropped from Opus and OpenAI just as of yesterday, as well as the testing I've done so far. You have to upgrade to these models if you haven't already, because their performance is just stupid in a good way. Really impressive performance. I'm saying I've used Opus 4.6 the most extensively since it's come out yesterday. I want to talk about that, do some screen sharing with you, and then haven't used OpenAI's ChatGPT 5.3 codex just yet, but hearing really great things about that as well too. So let's dive in. Okay, so here's Anthropic's announcement for Opus 4.6 and everything that it includes. First off, I had to say that Anthropic has just been crushing it lately. Not only is Opus 4.6 incredible thus far, I was a huge fan of 4.5, but Opus 4.6 is clearly better, and I'm going to give you some specific examples of why. But they're playing the marketing game really well also. If you don't know, OpenAI is about to release ads, or they've been talking a lot about bringing ads to their baseline product, that being ChatGPT. And Anthropic has created some absolutely hilarious Super Bowl videos that intend to air prime time during the event, which is taking direct shots at OpenAI in the most hilarious ways. So if you haven't seen those commercials, I will link to them. You have to watch them. You'll probably see them if you're planning to watch the Super Bowl, but they are really good and they are taking direct shots at the experience and how it's likely to change when OpenAI does bring ads to their platform. But having said that, they also released Opus 4.6 yesterday, which again is going right into Super Bowl Sunday weekend, which is absolutely perfect timing. So they're playing this exceptionally well. I'm also giving Anthropic credit for what they're doing and bringing to market, especially for business professionals. I think they probably provide the most complete, kind of comprehensive platform here for anybody who's working currently and then needs as much productivity as they can get out of what AI currently provides. So in here, they talk about upgrading the model, its performance benchmark elements, which far exceed even what Opus 4.5 was capable of, obviously Sonnet as well too. And I've experienced this myself thus far. I've mainly used it via Claude AI in the browser, but even that has just been crazy impressive. And I'll talk to you about some of the things that I've been able to do thus far, which are better than what it's been previously. Scrolling down to first impressions, and I'm going to share with you some of these quotes that are on their page as well too. I think do a really good job of describing for you how if you're coding or building SaaS or doing technical work, you've got to upgrade to this model ASAP and see what it's capable of. But the quotes that they show on their page here from some pretty recognizable companies, that being Notion and GitHub, their chief product officer, Mario Rodriguez, says that early testing shows that Claude Opus 4.6 is delivering on the complex, multi-step coding work developers face every day, especially agent workflows that demand planning and tool calling. So this is really starting to get more detailed in terms of how technical things can get to match a real world scenario from a development perspective. And I think Opus 4.6 is going to exceed there even more so than 4.5 was previously. That's what I've been using up to now when it comes to development work. But I think 4.6 provides even more value. They got their performance benchmarks on here as well too. And as you can imagine, 4.6 is exceeding in pretty much every category when compared with 4.5, which again was my previous highly recommended model. So 4.6 just improves upon that. Talks about retrieval capabilities, failure diagnoses, and really just kind of wins in every category. So what I really want to talk about here is, and I'll share all these links in the description as well also, so you can check them out yourself. But you have to stay on top of these models and their development. When they upgrade or when they come out, you need to upgrade pretty much immediately. Like you can do some initial testing, but upgrade as soon as possible and test them out as soon as you can, which is something I've been doing. So how I've been using 4.6, I'm doing a couple things. I'm doing some outreach messaging. I'm working on a book. I've got, I'm doing some social media activity, sharing all this content with everybody. And it's just leaps and bounds beyond what 4.5 was capable of, which again was already incredible. What I think is most interesting about what I'm seeing from 4.6 so far is it's proactive in its thinking and its strategy. As in, I was trying to like clean a list for people that I wanted outreach to, that I want to be guests on my podcast and stuff like that. And it is thinking about the next step or two in the process, and it's asking me about that proactively right away, which are things that I wasn't even necessarily thinking about yet. And again, it was me who was calling the shots here in terms of what we wanted to do and how I wanted to use AI for these reasons. So start using it. Let me know what you think. Share your feedback in the comments, but upgrade to this model as soon as you can. And again, as these models continue to get better and better, also their capacity in terms of how much you can use them is starting to grow as well too. So unlike before, where the newest best models will come out sometimes at the same time as some of the other ones who maybe didn't have all of those high powered capabilities, your ability to kind of increase your capacity to use them for longer periods of time and for doing more things is growing as well too. So for the most part at this point, regardless which tier you are on with these services, you can probably gain even more access to a better model. So it's an exponential improvement. So you really shouldn't run into any roadblocks or bottlenecks in the process from upgrading pretty much right away. So do your thing and provide some feedback. I'd love to hear more from you.